cannot pinpoint the exact provision of the law which I violated, then that is already, I said, a violation.
Magandang araw sa atin lahat mga kababayan at umalma itong si dating Pangulong Digong sa ginawa ng MTRCB na pagsuspended sa kanyang programa na gikan sa Masa para sa Masa at ito umano ay paglabag sa karapatan ng isang tao para makapagpahayag, makapagsalita at ayon kay Pangulong Digong hindi umano ito tama at hindi makatarungan, lalo na ang pinag-iinitan dito ay itong isiminay para sa inyo mga kababayan po natin. Makatarungan ba ang ginawa ng MTRCB na wala pang tama o pinal na investigasyon at hindi pa napatunayan kung talagang may pagkasala itong si Pangulong Digong, itong kanyang programa, ay bakit release na ng preventive suspension itong MTRCB para sa dalawang programa ng isiminay. So ito po ang gikan para sa Masa at itong laban kasama ang bayan.
Sabi ko is, one, that could be a gross violation of my constitutional right to free expression. And second, of course, is the outfit which I am using as a platform, violation of press freedom. Magdadalawa yan. Kasi using a medium there, which is a SMNI. So, yun ang akin. Those constitutional rights are sacred. Talagang mabigat yan sa ating konstitusyon. It has a value higher than almost kasing ano yan, a currency of it has a value of a currency of money, in the sense that it has been used by people to communicate and to inform the public, and to the right of the individual to freely express his or her opinion. Ano yan eh? It has a currency value para sa for those who love freedom.
Anong masasabi niyo doon sa sinabi ng MTCRB board na para sa kanilang paniniwala, may mga ilang aspeto raw ng programa niyo na maaaring lumabag sa batas, at dahil dito kailangan suspendin ng 14 na araw. Because of that, your program is being suspended.
I haven't really read in its entirety the document kasi mahina ang mata ko. You sent me a copy dito lang sa iPhone. Pero ito ang masasabi ko, Sal. There are no specifics. You are not informed of what violations you have committed. There is no provision of law that you have transgressed. At this time, you cannot contest yung preventive suspension. Preventive in the sense that in the meantime, you are not allowed to use the facility of the SMNI. Alam mo, in my view, the suppression to express your right to exercise this freedom does not, it cannot be the subject of a preliminary or a permanent status. Hindi nga pwede yan. The right to free expression is absolute. To me, that is how I understand it. until today sa constitutional law po. A temporary preventive suspension is by itself already a censorship. Hindi ka nakasalita. You're censored. So, to me, to that extent, or to the full time that you are not allowed to talk, it is a derogation of your right, of your constitutional right to free speech and free expression. And to add, freedom of the press.
As a lawyer yourself, Mr. President, do you think there is a basis for the suspension, given the fact that the reasoning, as I mentioned earlier, and for your information, I would like to read the particular paragraphs in regard to the suspension. It says, and I quote, upon careful review and consideration of recent events and complaints received by the board, it has come to the board's attention that certain aspects of the program may be in violation of established guidelines and standards set by Presidential Decree number 1986 and its implementation.
So ayan po mga kababayan po natin, narinig natin ang binabasa ni Attorney Panilo, mga kababayan po natin. Malinaw na ang sinasabi is maybe violate. So ibig sabihin hindi pa sigurado umano, mga kababayan po natin, kung nag-violate nga itong programa ni dating Pangulong Digong. Ngunit ito ay hinusgahan na agad ng tawag dito ng MTRCB, which is inalmahan niya ng buong partido mismo ni Pangulong Digong, mga kababayan po natin, na ito umano ay malinaw na isang paglabag sa karapatan ng isang media personality o isang tao para magsalita ng kanyang gustong sabihin at nilalabag nga ang karapatan na magsalita. So ito po mga kababayan po natin ay mukhang hindi nagustuhan ng ating mga kababayan, maraming ang umalma. Kahit itong Senator Amy Marcos ay nagsabi na rin na hindi niya nagustuhan at mukhang ito umano ay panggigipit at mukhang may takot nga mismo sa isiminay nyo, lalo na sa programa ni dating Pangulong Digong na itong Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa. Kasi dito siya nakakapagsalita, mga kababayan po natin. Nagagamit niya itong platform para ilabas ang kanyang saloobin patungkol sa mga isyu na nangyayari sa ating bansa. So ito po ang programa ni Pangulong Digong din. Dito rin po ay marami tayong matutunan, lalo na pagdating sa mga legal na usapin, kung ano man ang mga tinatanong sa kanya ng ilang reporter ng Siminay na kanyang sinasagot. So marami tayong matutunan sa programang ito, mga kababayan po natin. Nagkataon na talaga na ikinento niya ang pinag-usapan ng kanyang anak nila ni Vice President Sara na umunay gusto niya nang tapusin itong komunista at nabanggit niya ang pangalan ng isang kongresista na ngayon ay nag-file ng kaso laban sa kanya. Pero malinaw na ito umano ay hindi pagbabanta, kundi na-share lang ang kwento.
Program, television, network, cable TV station, and other related establishments, provided that the temporary preventive order thus issued shall have a life of not more than 20 days from the date of the issuance. Yan po ang sinasaad ng preventive suspension.
Well, it is what the charges are baby. That is not good enough. You know, if you try to fish out from my mouth what I said until now, and if you cannot pinpoint the exact provision of the law which I violated, then that is already, I said, a violation of my constitutional right. Wala kang findings of guilt, which you may have or probably other, but it must be spread out at that moment, at this time, that those the things that I uttered are punishable by law. It cannot be maybe because of uh, uh, it speaks of a thing which has to be solved first before you can get the meat, the substance, the gravamen of my speech or expression. And then at the time, I am already at a loss of how to go about exercising that right.
So, Mr. President, what do you intend to do about this preventive suspension?
Well, one is maybe we can raise it to the courts. The window is very small. It's 20 days. Maybe by the time that you are ready to hear or argue the case before the courts, maubos yan, it would be rendered moot and academic. Pero let us see what happens. I will try to consult my classmates. Those who are still practicing. Ako hindi na, nag-retire na ako. But I intend to go back to law practice. But I have to go to school. So that's a problem now.
But definitely, as far as you're concerned, the suspension of the program Gikan sa Masa is violative of the constitutional right to freedom of speech as well as the freedom of the press.
Yes, freedom of expression and freedom of the press, because Kibuloy's radio station is prohibited from airing my program. It is not directed to me. It is directed to SMNI. Kaya nga, kaya mabuti sana niyan, what they should do if they want really to get a violation coming from my mouth is allow me to talk, and after that, investigate and find out if there is something violative of the law sa bunganga ko. Not before. Because
But-
dito, in the realm of the prevention, we are dealing with speculation, maybe allegedly, maybe. That is not good enough to curtail one's freedom of expression. Those words, maybe, allegedly. Hindi pwede yan. You have to be specific. Either you allow the person to talk and talk and talk and find out the violations. But of course, it would require you to hear carefully what the other guy is talking about. That is the time that you try to investigate and find out the force of there are any. Ganon yan.
So yan nga po mga kababayan po natin ang sinasabi ng dating Pangulong Digong bilang isang abogado na dapat umano ay imbestigahan muna ng maayos pakinggan, hayaan na magsalita ito si Pangulong Digong para malaman kung ano nga ba talaga ang naging paglabag o violation sa ating constitutional. May paglabag ba sa batas itong programa at itong pananalita ni Pangulong Digong bago sila magbitaw ng isang preventive suspension gaya nitong 14 days. At kagaya niyan ay ang kanyang programa ay hindi na mai-air ngayon dahil naka-suspended nga, pero mayroong preventive suspension. So ang narinig naman po natin kay Atty. Tolentino ay magpa-file sila ng motion para tanggalin agad itong preventive suspension na pinataw ng MTRCB. Kaya ang ating mga kababayan ngayon ay galit na nga dahil kung ginawa ito sa programa ni Pangulong Digong sa Isiminay, posibleng gagawin din ito sa ilang programa na posibleng magsasalita ng negatibo, magbabatikos sa administrasyon, magbabatikos sa House of Representatives, lalo na sa kanilang hari na si House Speaker Martin Romualdez. At malinaw na mali ito ay paglabag ayon kay Pangulong Digong. Kayo po, bilang isang ordinaryong Pilipino, ano po ang inyong pananaw patungkol sa isyong ito? Comment na po sa ating comment section at huwag kalimutan mag-follow, like, and share. Subscribe sa ating social media platform para sa ating mga karagdagang update sa mga mainit na issue na pinag-uusapan sa bansang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat mga kababayan.